I'm gonna try to join you on Instagram.
We'll see. We shall see.
Good evening, party people.
8 p.m. Another Sunday. Episode number 3.
Let's see, is it working? Ah, look at that. Even though I'm frozen.
I don't know what that beat is.
Okay, we episode 3. You introducing us on the call out?
Episode 3 Sunday. Chocolate Crowns back at you. I'm Del Rico, better known as Cousin Fletch. Here live with Mary May, Butterfly Love CEO, therapist, relationship therapist,
Yeah.
counselor, overall good person. And we here for round number 3 to see if we can, peel back some of the layers of the onion, like you always say, on this journey of relationships that we have. So, without any further ado, episode 3, let's get it.
Let's get it. You know, and I always want to just do a disclaimer that it's a relationship to everything. So, yes, relationship to each other. Oh, this is bad. Relationship to each other. But then relationship to anything that we feel committed to as well. So those things that we prioritize in our everyday life and situations. So that could be exercise, career, So what's our hot topic we're going to start with first? The movie?
I mean, no, we can go where you wanted to. I mean, because I've seen parts of it, but I just want to interject some things from the movie as we're going along.
Right.
I know a lot of people have seen it. I guess the name is Fatal Affair with Nia Long and Omar Epps. Since everybody's under COVID and adult punishment, and there's not, everything's not open up, and movie theaters aren't open. Netflix is just, churning them out. Prime Video's just churning them out. So they got one with Nia Long and Omar Epps, a couple other actors. I mean, it's a repetitive movie. We've seen the script a million times called Fatal Affair, so we know how it goes. I think to just piggyback off of what's happened over the last 2 weeks with some of the vulnerable relationships we've seen between Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, August Alsina, and some of the other things that we mentioned. It's just another relationship that we watch, and hopefully we can take away from what they give us, because there's a bunch of clues, there's a bunch of cues that ladies need to be on the lookout for, that woman's intuition, and the guys, we need to be on the lookout for certain things that women give off that we don't need to be taking part in a relationship, so with that being said, there was a question that you had to ask.
Here's a question I had to ask. So how do we, from a male and female perspective, get this jump off? How do we define intimacy? Because as Del Rico and I were discussing this as we prepared for tonight's conversation, we were on 2 different sides of what they mean. So you can pop it in the comments, either on Instagram or here on Facebook. What does intimacy mean?
Okay, so this is good. This is good. So, from a guy's perspective, um, when we use the word intimacy, see, we got to be real careful about the words we choose because, as a guy, as a man, when we think intimacy, we thinking there's something going on. It's tonight's the night.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be doing our thing. Um, and on the other end of it, where we kind of clash, women look at intimacy as a whole array of things, a wide array of things. And this is what I always say: men are surface thinkers. We surface thinkers. Y'all are the intellectual people. Y'all are the ones who gonna dig deep and go down under the surface, not men. Not men. So when we got into the kind of back and forth, it was because you had your position, but I was speaking from a man's perspective. And when we talk intimacy, we talking actual physical intimacy. Now, go ahead.
Now I was listening, letting you finish first. Yeah.
So, and when a woman talks intimacy, she could be talking just time. She could be talking, like I said, a whole array of things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But being who we are, I said we should name whatever you're doing, name it that. Don't call gardening intimacy. Because going out in the dirt and flipping your flowers around is not intimate.
It is.
It's not. We getting dirty. We get So you sweating and you can look good. You can be glistening in the sun and everything.
But you glistening, looking into his eyes, and vice versa. You spending quality time. You may have a shared interest in gardening, or you may not, but you know that it's important to your partner to do whatever to the garden that's important. So those are intimate moments showing value to the person that you're spending time with. When it could also be an escape too. You could be like, listen, you watching football, I'm going out to the garden and I'll see you later.
Right. I didn't say, listen, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with gardening.
Right.
Let's call it what it is. It's gardening. It's hard work. We spending time together, yes. But as a man, this is not intimate. This is not intimate.
It's emotional foreplay because you actually want to spend time with me outside of some kind of aerobics of some sort.
Right. And it is. It's spending time.
So spending time gardening, spending time drinking coffee and having chats, spending time walking in the park. It's spending time.
Is that leading to something? Is the guy in the dirt in the garden in the park for the walk, drinking the cup? Is this leading to some real intimacy?
It could.
It could.
It could. Why you gotta say it like that? Like it definitely could.
Because
It could lead into you all like really being able to share, have that time to talk where it's no restrictions, it's no rules, it's no time limited interaction, and you get to know how people feel about certain things in life because it could be stuff that's related to the garden, that's in the news. You could use that time to just reconnect and talk about those things that's important to you that probably in the hustle and bustle of life, either pre-COVID or during COVID, that you may not have the space to just have adult conversation.
Listen, I agree with you 100%. But I'm still speaking for the guys.
Okay.
If we talk, we need to do all of this. There's no doubt about it. We need to have the walks in the park, the coffee, the gardening, whether you like it or not.
Right.
You're doing stuff because you actually love this other person, or you like this person. You might not even be out love yet, but you want to see them smile. But let's call it what it is. No, don't sugarcoat this thing, because men say intimacy and we thinking we getting lucky.
You are getting lucky. You lucky to spend time with that young person that you have scheduled your day to be with. You are lucky to be invited into the space because she has invited you to be
Yes,
there.
very
Like,
lucky.
those are things. I mean, I'm not a person that values or believes in luck per se, but I understand for the purpose of this conversation, you saying like that you earned a great opportunity to share time. So, I
No,
mean,
that point you just made, I agree with that. You
mhm,
are lucky because it's on the woman. See, the power belongs to the woman. That's
right,
why when we go into the craziness, guys try to snatch that power when they doing whatever they doing. Whether we're going to continue to go into the conversation, whether they're manipulating mentally, physically, whatever they're doing, they try to snatch that power. But y'all initially have that power. And I just think that I just think when as a man, and like I said, when it comes down to us believing or perceiving that we're going to have physical contact with this woman, that is one thing. That's in this one lane. The other stuff,
but
regard.
physical contact could be a hug or a snuggle or massaging feet, or like it could be contact in
What
so
did
many
you
different.
say? Did you
That's,
say? Did you say massaging feet?
I mean, some people enjoy their feet to be
Okay, all
rubbed,
right. I was
and
hey, I was just checking. I didn't say I wouldn't massage a toe or two, but you know,
intimacy.
yeah, that's intimate. Yes, when
A
you
hug
saying,
is intimate because you are coming into my very personal space.
but listen, say for instance, that's why every man in the world has offered a woman a massage.
Right, but we know that when a man offers that's straight up foreplay. Like
Right.
that's straight up.
See, that's
We gonna get 5.5 minutes of a massage, and then you jumping and switching the gears. When a woman thinking of a massage, that they're gonna truly be relaxed from the massage first before the other level of intimacy.
now. If in 2020 you got to
We
be,
got a massage therapist listening now too.
yes, massage therapist. In 2020, if an average person, if they don't have a license, if they ain't been to school and they offer you a massage, where you think this is going? See, this is the power of the woman. See, the woman got the power to say, no, I don't want a massage, because she know this boy's rough hands. He been playing with bricks all day. He don't know what he doing. He has no idea what he's doing, and he's
Right,
offering a massage. You know where this is going to. Now, if you want the massage, and I know you want the massage, I know this could lead to something. Now, that's intimacy.
right.
But now, we, if you and your partner go out in the garden on a Saturday morning and y'all do the gardening, and then y'all come in and get cleaned up, take a shower together. Yeah, I want to garden some more, because I know that how this thing is gonna go. I know that I could possibly, you know, end up in the physical intimacy that I'm looking for because of that word intimacy. Now, like you said, on the walks and the talks, you can start to tell your partner, look, intimacy is more than just us physically laying down having sex, because intimacy is you massaging my mind. And
But that's really all the intimacy truly is massaging the mind and setting the tone and creating that space that you know how to connect with them so that when you get to the physical act, your mind, body, and spirit is openly and connected to that individual in a higher level and a higher frequency that will make the experience so much better than what it would have been if you just stayed on the surface.
That's what you're hoping for.
Depending on people's growth moment, it definitely is what you should seek. So it's like, so Lawanda said, what are we really doing? She said that back at the part when we were talking about being out in the garden and spending time together. So I'm not sure what specifically triggered her to say, okay, well, what are we doing? But I would think that it was like, okay, why are we spending time together if we're not trying to build up to that ultimate thing that we can say, I actually love you, or I actually like you a lot.
Yeah, that's what you hope, and originally that's what I was hoping, when we was talking about partners and when do you know your partner really loves you?
Absolutely. This is all leaded into it.
Now now the spending time in the garden and the long walks, that you breaking down barriers and you understanding who this person is, and I also said you actually going through life with this person. Now,
Mm-hmm.
life can be defined as whatever life is. I mean, it can be a whole array, a gambit of things. So I'm not defining what life is to you and your partner, but
Mm-hmm.
when you go through things together, you find out who that person is, the character of that person,
Mm-hmm.
the foundation of that person, the makeup of that person, and then you can say, okay, now we've been through some things. This person showed me whether it turned out 100% correct or just the effort was appreciated. Like this person really tried. They really put forth the effort to
Mm-hmm.
do whatever it is to solve whatever issues is before us. Um, I think that's when you start to say, I really love a person. When you
Right.
go through some things with a person, um, that's when it's funny to me when people say, I seen this person, I was in love with this person. No, you was in lust with that person. You was
Right.
less you was less than that person. And I ain't saying nothing wrong with it. We human, so we see and we like who we like. But to me, I just don't think that that word should be thrown on top of everything because I mean it's powerful. It's a powerful four-letter word. It's a very powerful word.
So apparently you're getting a shout out again on your Fletch fun facts like last week. So what does the man define love truly as? Because if there is an imbalance and it's defined differently, how do you get on the same page so that again the relationship can kind of ebb and flow and and work well? And I'm saying man and woman, but we do need to be sensitive to partner because that's just the way life is in this time zone.
Right. Um, I mean it's different for everybody. Like I
Right.
said, some people could just throw it around like it's nothing. Some people have been taught love the wrong way. Some people's never been loved and looking for love. So there's a whole array of things that you know it, that word is associated with. And I think for a guy, I think for me, if I'm near, if I'm showing I'm there, if I'm being consistent, if I'm thinking about you and I'm empathetic to what's going on to you, those are all signs that I love you. Listen, early on, you get clues, man or woman.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be blind to these clues that we get because we think this person is sexy, she's bad, he's fine. Like we can't be blind. We live in a fantasy world. A lot of people,
Right.
and we're blind to a lot of clues that people give off, and then it's always the other person's fault. But they showed you who they were early on.
But sometimes we don't want to see that because it might be convenient or we didn't think that somebody that has the qualifications that we perceive or think that that person has would be interested or attracted to us. So it's like we do everything to manifest their ability to kind of stay connected to us at the cost of losing ourselves.
So as you were saying it, I'm digesting it. That's why I was looking at you crazy.
No
But
problem. Because I had also put in the comments that love is an action as well as relationship currency. And I know you always say that the woman's womb is very powerful. So I would think that that leads into the currency, but it also leads into the love as it being an action, like something that is demonstrated, like you just described. But then sometimes you can put on your representative and have your representative come in and do all of those right things. And then once they feel like they've captured your full attention, then this other side of them come out.
oh yeah, like you got professional people who know how to manipulate. Like I mean,
Mhm.
it's like it's a business. You know what I'm saying? Some
Mhm.
people you watch TV shows and they got whole profile buildups about who they are and all this kind of stuff, and none of it is true at all. Um, so you got, I mean, listen, we're not children. We're not gonna be childish about this. There's always something that somebody gives off, and if you have any inclination, any intuition about this person, there's a reason why. Don't
Mhm.
let listen. Don't let that inner feeling, that natural inner God that you have in you, protect
Mhm.
you, and you be stupid and not follow your protection. Like
So, so you saw parts of the Fatal whatever movie that's out now, and I know it's Fatal Attraction, it's Perfect
fatal,
Stranger. It's like all these movies where there's different cues.
obsessed, everything.
What are some of the cues that people miss? And because they're so busy thriving to try to make this
Well,
a love
I'll
fest.
tell you this. In the very beginning, when Omar Epps shows up, and they were good at using two people that the black culture really like. Because we like
Mhm.
Nia Long, we like Omar Epps, you know what I'm saying? Even
Mhm.
though he's done some pretty weird things to me in my day, but but
Who hasn't these
yeah,
days?
they in Hollywood. That's why I say you can't live your life off of Hollywood, off of what Hollywood does. But there's a part early on, they were, I guess they grew up or went to college together 20 years ago, and
Mhm.
I guess she had something in her hair, and he's like, grabs out her hair and pulls it out instead of saying, Nia, you got something in your hair. And then allowing her to say, okay, I'll get it, or can you help me out? See,
Mhm.
those are little clues that you got somebody who's little bit controlling. And people might think that's crazy that I'm saying that, but I'm
But
a guy.
I'm gonna pause you first. As a guy, so that controlling, I'm with you on that. But as a female, she'll be like, okay, this is great. Like he's really looking out to make sure I don't look wrong, or he really cares about me. And the way he took it out, it was so sensual. Like they begin to re-narrate what is actually happening, what they see, to make it their imaginary view versus recognizing the elements of control. So, go ahead.
Well, and I ain't saying that you're not correct. And I'm not saying that this is easy to navigate
Mm-hmm.
between Mr. Nice Guy and Mr. Creepy Guy. I'm not saying that there's not a thin line between that because Mr. Creepy Guy can be Mr. Nice Guy 90% of the time, and then that 10% of the time you end up in the ocean.
Oh goodness.
Like we see it. Like there's women right now that you've dealt with, I've dealt with, who trying to make an escape from men.
Okay, and let's just be clear who I dealt with as a relationship therapist, helping them
Yes,
work through their journey after they've been pained in some particular way.
yes, and
I'm sorry,
young
I just
people.
felt like I had to clarify that.
Nah, no problem. You gotta let people know what you do, but it's just it's it's not easy. It's not
Mhm.
easy for women at all. But being raised by all women, um, having respect for women. I mean, and I mean the utmost respect. Um, I just think that we could be a lot smarter because then you don't have to play victim and play blame. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. When you make the wall where he has to actually work to get over, is basically what I'm saying. Like
Right.
that little him trying to get something out your hair. Oh, that shouldn't. No, that can't turn you on, ladies. That can't make you feel like no. That can't make you feel no kind of way. That may no. Oh, there's something in my hair. I'll get it out, or go ahead and do it. Like no, you gotta control the narrative. You know, you gotta control everything. At least until he shows that he's putting in work and effort to
Mm-hmm.
really get in your space. Be lucky enough to get in your space. Because, I mean, it is like women can wake up and feel some kind of way and basically get whoever they want to get for the most part. If
Okay.
they want to be physical, they can get who they want to get. Men, it's a roll of the dice. You can go get some little bucket off of Broad Street. Nobody want that. Nobody want that. So ultimately, what I'm saying is, y'all have power. You can't give it away. Can't. You can't go and in the movie, in the Fatal Affairs, to bring Jada and Will back into this. She had a home, she had a husband, she had a daughter. I mean, a beautiful home.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And what she do is say, I was drunk.
We blame it on something else when we still had control
You had
because you know
control.
what's actually happening.
You had control from the door. And you ain't know this guy was creepy. That's why you got to make it hard for Mr. Creepy Guy to be able to be lucky to get in your space.
Right.
Like, honestly, it should be hard the work. And I'm saying it because back in the day, we used to have to work to get a woman.
Right.
It's too easy now. It's too easy, ladies. It's too easy. There's too many booty pictures up on all these social media sites. It's too easy to get in your DM. It's too easy to connect with you. That's why you gotta make the wall so that if he wants to get to you, he has to climb. He's got to show you that he's going to put forth effort to get lucky enough to be in your space.
Okay. So I have written in the comments like paying attention to the intuition and the gut and what it's telling you about the energy related to the person because love can be love, but you have to really love yourself from the inside out that you're willing to know when you're taking a risk and knowing when you're making the right decision. But if it's telling you like some of those shows that come on Friday night where they're showing you how people got murdered and stuff like that, your intuition causes you at certain behaviors. And when you choose to ignore what it's telling you because you're having such a great time on this roller coaster ride, meeting somebody, dating with them, and all of that, then it's like you you are responsible. You know, you become the enabler in that situation.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, man. And listen, man, we don't want nobody. We talk about this craziness because the craziness happens. So I'm trying to give a perspective from a man's point of view, um, so that maybe one person could make somebody work a little harder to show you that they really love you or care about you. Same thing with the men. I mean, we're not going sugarcoat it or say that we less than as a man. We're not doing that. So
Mhm.
we're gonna make this woman work just because she got a nice body, a big old butt. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. That don't make it where she has to work any less to prove that she's worthy to be with you, fellas. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And for the ladies, you worth too much. Make it work. Stop making it so easy.
So what about when you're trying to figure out if your partner loves you and you love them, but they also love multiple partners, but that hasn't been an agreement that you have in your relationship that multiple partners can be in a relationship, but they still expect you to love them no matter what they decide to do on the side menu, the appetizer menu, or try to have it as full opportunity.
Damn, how many people they loving?
They might be loving, maybe, I don't know.
Sheesh. You love this many people?
I'm gonna say 3 people.
All right.
Main join, side join, and then the periodic join.
Double side
They got me
joint?
talking like a Philly person using the word join. I've been here too long.
Call them dips then. but,
All right,
but
I use Pittsburgh. The
but
main dip, the side dip, and then the double dip.
oh my God, that's too many people, man. That's too much confusion. That's
Mm-hmm.
too. Listen, we could always go back because we now seen the actual physical faces of Will Smith, August Alsina, and Jada Pinkett. So those 3 people were in this mixture, and the facial expressions of the 2 men was awful, awful. Like it was awful. So to mix up loving multiple people, it's hard. You can't. It's somebody's going to get the short end of the stick. Somebody's not going to get love the way they're supposed to get love. The person who's stretching themselves to between 3 people, like that's too much, man. And then
Right,
that's just saying I love, but then I'm sleeping with this one, and this one.
right. Without
Ah,
consent. So then does love really truly exist if you feel like you have the full menu like that? And then the question and the thing is how you got a side join for the side join.
side John for yourself. We was just watching the movie where the second side John got mad. No, the first side John got mad because he had a second side John. Like you, the
Exactly.
side Johns, you can't get mad at nothing.
Like I ain't
Nothing.
signed up for this.
I mean, a lot of people don't, but then there's a lot of people who do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. But when you mix in all of that confusion, all of them people, man, you can't ultimately be happy, man. And that's what we
Are you
ultimately.
fragile?
Are you fragile?
Yeah, like is your mindset fragile? Somebody said that's 33% per each person.
That's a little bit. 33 ain't good. If you shooting 33% in basketball, you off the team. If you catching 33% of the passes, you done.
Right.
So I equate everything to sports. You shooting 33% front, nope, you out of here. So 33 is not really good, man.
So then
But
that goes into the other thing we talked about in preparing love versus loyalty. Like how would like that situation definitely compromises where loyalty stands. But can you have love and loyalty at the same time? Are they separate? Are like how do they actually equate?
I mean, it's a good question. That's a great question. Um, to me, love is an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way you feel. Loyalty is part of your character. Loyal, I'm loyal. I'm here regardless. So I think a lot of times when guys tell a woman that they love them, I think women believe that that means that I may never ever cheat on you. I may never ever do anything to break your heart. And that
Mm-hmm.
ain't the truth. That's not the truth.
It's not.
That's just being honest. And
But
I'm
you know
just
what? Cheating also comes before you have that mixed up conversation around intimacy. Because cheating can be activated through other things that you do, like staying at work late, playing a video game so late, or like you have more of attachment to the video game than you do to like what's happening in the house around you. Um, it's so much.
yeah, I mean it's a lot, because as you say the video game, I'll say the man come in from work and the woman bitching. That leads you to cheat. I'm not going home.
Right, but it doesn't have to be like if you're coming home from work and the video game or social media or just something that's not in connection with your partner is something that you need to kind of decompress. That's different than you fully being engaged with the game or staying at work late to kind of avoid those dinner table conversations, or let's talk about the finances or why you did this particular, action, or do we have a weekend coming up that we can spend together? So like, though, that's a different conversation. So I don't want to get that mixed in, because people do need decompressing time. Like we talked about maybe last week or the week before, around, do you sit in the car for a few minutes before you come in, or did you listen to loud music with your drive home, just so you can kind of separate from work to how you're going to represent when you walk in the door.
Yeah, listen, man. Ultimately, whoever you with, you gotta want to be around this person. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
like this person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could love. There's a bunch of people I love, and I can't stand being around the people. I can't stand them. But
Right.
you gotta actually like your partner. Like, and listen, I'm one who can't. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So I can't hide what's going on with my facial expressions.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's people out there like that. So they probably looking at their partner like, oh, you breathing too hard. Like, I don't even want to be around you. So you need to like, you have to ultimately like that person. You,
Right.
you have to, because love and loyalty, to me, two different things. You could be loyal. I could be loyal to you and not love you because that's who I am as a person.
Right.
I could love you and say I love you and be there for you and cheat on you every week. You know
Somebody
what I'm
said
saying?
loyalty is an action part of love.
It's a who?
An action part of love.
Loyalty is who you are. It's a characteristic. It's like,
It's the way you commit or not commit.
yeah, like if I'm 100% all the way in, like I I I was look like, for instance, um, I loved I loved football.
Mm-hmm.
So it dictated everything. It made me do everything I was supposed to do, right?
Right.
I don't play football anymore, right?
Physically.
I watch it.
And you live principles of it too.
Yes, it built certain characteristics inside of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had a saying when I was first at Rutgers, and we was awful, but it was absolute loyalty. It was absolute, meaning everything you gotta do, you gotta do. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of your character. It's part of your makeup. And in that in that emphasis, does it encompass, is love intertwined with that? Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But we know plenty people who there for their families every single waking moment and will cheat on you as soon as you turn your back.
As soon as they
Bills
got
paid, bills paid, house paid. You know, to even knock your woman off, give her some,
mm-hmm.
and still be in the streets looking at something new. That's who they are. That's who they are. And they showed you that probably early on.
So how do they show you their level of integrity or their level of trust or their level of commitment into their partner, for their partner to feel validated, if their partner needs that type of validation to say, okay, we're in a committed situation and not just roommates? And I have a couple
Right.
people who I relate to, that I reach out and I'll say, well, how's your roommate doing? And they are in full blown, long term committed relationships, but where they are in this season is a roommate.
And what you mean by roommate?
It's somebody who you share living dwellings with. You may share some of the responsibilities of that dwelling. However, you're not able to commit with them or interact with them again with that intimacy or that trust, because some violation has kind of occurred, be it health, be it trust, be it communication, be it finances. It could be a lot of different reasons on how you come into the roommate standpoint.
Oh well then let's talk to the people playing fantasy then, because that's what that is. That's fantasy. Like
Mm-hmm.
you living in a fantasy world. This person you can't do nothing with. There's no connection. There's no nothing.
Right.
Like that's what I be meaning about people being crazy, man. Crazy. It's and
Crazy.
I love my people, man. But when you go and dig into people's situations and you got a who because of what, and you still stand there,
Mm-hmm.
like it's fantasy. It's crazy, man. And it's not to say that the person is crazy, like they're stupid, they can't do nothing about. Yeah, take back some of your power, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, because people only gonna do what you allow them to do. And if you that comfortable that they can stick around after doing whatever it is they've done. Now, if it's a health situation and there's nothing you can do about that's understandable. That's how I say we gotta eat better, drink better, live better, sleep better, all that kind of stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something where this person showed you that that wall you built up wasn't big enough, it wasn't thick enough, you can't play fantasy anymore. I see
Right.
you laughing, so somebody must have said something crazy.
I mean, they giving you praise and big ups for your fletch facts and super facts.
Listen, man.
It's two different people. So it's the person who named the Fletch fun facts, and then another roadie that's saying super facts.
Well, no, ladies,
Everybody
listen,
for tuning in to
listen,
this
ladies.
episode of Chocolate Crown.
Yeah, appreciate you checking in, man. Just trying to tilt the crown and fix it a little bit and elevate our crowns, man. But the only way we do that is we can't live in this fantasy world that we living in. We can't participate in that anymore. We gotta come out of that, man. And if you're in a situation where you're unhappy, go get your happiness, man. It's out there for you. Go take it, man. If that person is with you, they hating on you. That's what they doing. They want you to be miserable like them. You don't gotta be miserable like them, man. You can
Right.
be smiling. You can be happy. You can be around somebody who makes you feel good, who makes the inner part of you glow and your crown elevated. So
And it doesn't matter like if you've had some kind of relationship trauma or violation or like you got trust issues or anything like that, you deserve a better relationship. But you have to know and be committed to what it is that you need individually for your mind to be able to be committed to saying, okay, this is what I need to do to activate something different. And sometimes you need help with making that activation actually happen because there's social constructs, there's belief systems that people have that, oh, well, if you've been here so many years, then you might as well just stick it in because you put all of this time in. But truthfully, are you going to be the walking dead and not be able to live in your full and best life to be able to say, okay, I'm going to live in my optimal relationship? No, we usually have tantrums and cut our hair and go on to some kind of retreat, or walk around showing our
but
sexiest naked self
but
and
I'll tell you
you
that.
can't have none.
I'll tell you this to piggyback off what you just said about the cutting of the hair. Think about how many women watched Waiting to Exhale back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And we seen Angela Bassett do it. And we
Mm-hmm.
loved Angela Bassett. And sisters, when the man started doing that, they start chopping their hair. Like, what? Because of this fool? No, sister, please don't chop your
But
hair.
you know what? I think that sometimes, and not all times, so I don't want this to be a cover all statement, but I think sometimes in relationships, you believe that the way your crown is styled, talking about hairstyle, is something that is also a part of what's important to your committed relationship. So it kind of defines how you just say, okay, I hate to say this way, but I'll be submissive to the fact that my partner likes my hair this particular way. But when you have begun to activate loving yourself and it's emerging you away from that partner, then you like, I'm cutting my hair. Ain't nobody doing nothing for them no more. When it should have been always what you wanted. And that if it would happen to be what your partner wanted and you demonstrate love in that way, then it was something that was mutual, not a mutual sacrifice that you just say, okay, well, I'm gonna just do what they want or how they want it to look like. Because that's the essence of control, and that control can turn into abuse and other violence and lack of consent and so forth that we're not going to get into today, but yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely believe that. I mean, I know, women who've done things, men who have done things just for their partner, and when it started to go left, it's like whatever they was doing, they are stopping that and going back to who they really are and who they wanted to be. Um, I agree, and I don't want to say I disagree, but I look at it from both sides that sometimes it is good to try to make your partner happy.
Right.
Always good to make yourself happy. So your partner should also know how important is that to you. Like you said about your hair. Well, how
Mm-hmm.
important is it to your woman? Did she, from the time you met her, did she have long hair going down her back, where she's always talking about she don't want to cut it and all that kind of stuff, or was it, or it didn't matter to her? You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
those are the kind of things on this journey that you have to study, you have to learn, you have to know. I mean, because for me now on my own lock journey, and this is my second time on it, my hair is important to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was important that I grew my hair back. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody was like, "Well, Fletch, we in a relationship, and I want you to cut your hair," I'd be like, "Put an egg in your shoe and beat it."
Are
You know
you
what I'm
just
saying?
going to jet out, or would you be willing to have a conversation about what?
No, put an egg in your shoe and beat it, baby. I'm not cutting my hair right now,
But it
and
might be
but it's for me, and I'm letting it be known it's for me. It ain't got
right.
nothing to do with you. If you don't like it, I'm letting it be known. You ain't got to come around. It's okay. It's okay. I'm pretty. It's okay. I'm pretty sure I live, but that's me.
But
I'm
somebody will question your loyalty
stubborn
and
like
your love in that situation. That something very important, your crown, is very important. However, that you wouldn't be willing to come to the table to sit down and say, okay, maybe I didn't explain it to you how important my crown, rocking these locks, is and what the meaning of it is. And then maybe you have a different understanding, because it could turn into one of those surface conversations and surface things that is not really about you and your locks. It could be about something else.
oh yeah, it's gonna definitely be about something else. Most of the time it is. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
the locks is like the just the last, the last whatever on the camel's back. Whatever you put on the camel's back to make him break in half, that's just what the locks is. But it's all kind of other stuff that's going on that's gonna make,
Right.
we gonna
Especially
focus.
if you're ready to be like beat it or I'm out. Like it was something else that particular argument was the catalyst, but
Oh
you was
yeah, because
already
the woman,
halfway out the door anyway. That's what I'm saying. Could we even pause to say, okay, let's have a conversation? Because it just might not be understanding mutually what they mean.
now I was saying it from a perspective if I was just meeting somebody. Now,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, this person now has the ability to say, well, I don't like men with locks, or I never dealt with a man with locks, or that's not my twist. But if you're in a relationship and like I had short hair and I started to grow it, and somebody says, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Before I got to that point, I probably already had a conversation with this person
Right.
leading up to that point because they got to see it. They also got to see it. And if they don't like me in it, I got to take that in consideration.
Mm-hmm.
And some people have midlife crisis, and they like, I don't care what the person's saying. I got to do
Right.
whatever I got to get 20 tattoos and not think about the other person. But whatever, if you're in a relationship, that should be discussed already before you started on your lock journey. But if you're not in a relationship, I hold that kind of things on my sleeve. Like, this is who I am. You
Mm-hmm.
either deal with it or you don't. You either take it or you leave it. Like, I don't know you, so I'm not compromising anything
Right.
for your happiness. No, it's all about me.
Right.
And men and women, when we first meet each other, that's the first thing. Women always expect the man to bend over backwards. No,
Why wouldn't that be a mutual sacrifice? Maybe that's something we need to talk about.
it has to be. It has to be. But
Mhm.
like I always say, the sisters look at the brothers differently now, man.
Right.
And I'm not saying that we in our proper place, so y'all, y'all not looking at us the same. I go out in these streets, I see brothers, and some of us, whoa, and we supposed to be the patriarchs, leaders, and leading
Mm-hmm.
families. Some of them is bad. So, but as women, you can't lump everybody in the same boat. You can't lump everybody in Fletcher's boat.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's not taking the time out to study and read and learn themselves and everything else.
Right.
No, I sit and talk to the brothers. They on something totally different. So all the sisters, they can't just look at the brothers with the side eye. We not the enemy. You know what I'm saying? We here for you.
Right.
We here to love you. We here to learn from you. We here to lead you. And we also need your help with that, man.
Right.
We definitely need your help with that.
And you got to be clear on what your absolutes are. The one that's like, here is not a sacrifice for me. Like, you got to accept me for me. And if I met you with this particular angle, it's not to say that if it's something that you tell me that is not going to be better for my health, that I'm not going to consider it. But please know that this is how I rock. So if I rock with creamy crack and getting perm in my hair, or if I do a sew in and wear protective styles, like, you got to accept me how I am.
And listen, even with the health, men and women, you with your partner, you gotta have that uncomfortable conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If you see them going up or down and it's in a negative way, you got to try to help reel them in. You got to try to be the mirror. And I think, we're coming up towards the end of our hour and it kind of goes fast. But
It
one of
does.
the last things I wanted to say was we can't be scared to stand in front of the mirror and view our own self and hold our own self accountable and study our own self. Because that's the only way we're going to change. You got to put a mirror up in front of yourself. And sometimes it hurts because only you know what's underneath the surface.
Right. But
That's
even
the,
sometimes people don't even want to look at the surface. Yeah, we're trying to get rid of the feedback, but we're not sure how, Ellie. Um, the even when people look at the surface, it's sometimes that they what am I trying to think of? When you wash your hands every day, you don't always have I hope that took care of the feedback. The you don't always have the fact of what's important or what it is that you don't look at your facial features. You don't want to look into your eyes to see what is behind that. Like, you're fearful of really having a confrontation with yourself, as well as being committed to what it's going to take to make yourself better. And that investment, you'd rather just do the superficial and stay on the surface, not look at yourself when you go to the restroom, and keep on moving.
and it's sad. You'll never fix anything. And right now, I keep using, the relationship we seen a week ago, 2 weeks ago with Jada Pinkett and Will Smith and August
Right.
Alsina. But all of that stuff she talks, she's hurting so bad. Her inside is rotten.
She's codependent and she needs to
Try,
deal with that.
she tried to whatever they do to their face, the facelifts and Botox and nose. They listen, ladies. Listen, let me talk to y'all, man. Stop it, man. However the creator got you, you could go to the gym and work it out, man. Stop. No, the brothers, no. Stop it, man. Especially our sisters who ain't in Hollywood. Stop trying to live like them creatures, man.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly. Like, You could perfect what you are right now. I don't care if you think you 10, 30, 50, 100 pounds overweight.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect what it is right now that you got. If you just get up, that's all it takes.
Right.
Is you get up right now and you do something about it. Not go get some surgeries. No, that's not the way.
It's a temporary fix. It's like a band-aid.
It's a patch over a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually the air is still gonna seep out.
Right, because it's a lifestyle change that has to happen in order to make improvement. Like, I know going through the drive-through is quick and convenient, but it's a patch, and it's definitely most of the options that are available through drive-through are not the best, healthiest options.
Oh no, none of it. Don't ever go through the drive-through. Don't eat anything, and chocolate crowns might blow up, and McDonald's be a sponsor. And I'll tell you, don't ever eat McDonald's. Don't ever, ever, ever eat McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. None of that crap, man. 99% sugar on everything that's in there, from your salad to everything. They put corn in your drink. So listen, man, stop going there, man, because we're sick. We talking about changing some things, and part of changing our who we are to be the better, version of ourselves is about what we're eating.
Mm-hmm. And
And
that's love versus non-love of yourself as well as to your partner. Is
please love
what
yourself.
food are you putting into your body and your system, and is it keeping you well, or are you again, dang, why she had to come at the Five Guys?
Don't eat that crap. Your bag. Your bag is brown on the bottom from Five Guys, man.
With
It's
the peanut oil though, they try to justify it with peanut
what?
oil.
Peanut oil. I don't care if it was Jesus oil. It's oil. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. It's killing you. You want to love yourself. You want to be here. You want to be able to have long lasting, like my man Pat McAfee say, fulfilling sex. You need to eat right, man. You want
Right,
to be here for your partner. You want to lead
and to
your
have
partner.
stamina.
You want to be here for your kids. You want to be here to pass down information. You want to be there to be for monumental moments. You got to eat right, man. You can't put crap in your body and expect that your engine to work the way it's supposed to. No,
which
it's not.
which is also more on that personal investment, that if you know your day is going to be long, or even if you don't know if it's going to be long, always have something prepared in a Snapchat. Carry it with you, because you control what you feed your body, mind, and spirit. And your energy flows from food. So
Yeah,
it's like you need it, but you need to make sure you give the right things.
yeah. Break the bridges of eating this crap, man. Please, man. Be a cycle breaker on what we eating, man. Because if you eating the crap, all you're gonna do is pass it down to your kids, man.
Right.
And
With the oil,
they done got enough money off of our people, man.
they have.
Enough money with. I mean, on
And
the
we help
corner.
give them free marketing all the time. Every time they bring out something, we help their whole marketing plan by sharing it with a million people.
If they would have put Corona in Popeye's chicken sandwich, everybody been dead because
They
there's
probably did.
millions of people who out there lined up. I ain't. Are we kidding? I never had an urge to eat that crap. Like, you serious? Our people was out there lined up for a piece, and then they said they ran out of the chicken sandwich. So what is that?
Right.
They said they ran. Popeyes didn't close. They ran out of that chicken sandwich. What are we eating, man? What are we eating, man?
Engineered food.
Especially in Philly, man. There's so many black people, and y'all still eating the Chinese man diet. Y'all don't know what that crap is, man.
That's
Like,
not just in Philly. That's everywhere.
come on, man. Like, we gotta do better, man. We gotta study our own selves, learn what makes us tick instead of what other cultures make them tick. That's not what make us our best self, our best version of ourselves, man.
Now I
I
have
can
to
go.
say, just a shout out to my girl Lawanda in the DMV. I do want some Horace and Dickies though. I'll stand in line for that. That's some fried fish. I'll do that. Or
Yeah,
some
that.
pies. When I hit certain zip codes, I start hitting certain foods.
I
But
mean, listen, man. It's not bad to go ahead and try different stuff, man. we just can't indulge in what we know is wrong, man.
Right.
That's really what I'm getting at, man. Any toxic behavior is not good for us, man. If we trying to be godly like we are, man, from the food to the relationships to the people we're around to
Mm-hmm.
the information we're consuming. Sometimes y'all need to get off of Facebook and Instagram and stuff. You need to detach, man, because a lot of our people are killing themselves by logging on to these platforms all day, and you hearing the trash that's being spilled. So, listen, man, I love y'all, man. I want the best for everybody. I thank everybody for tuning in again and joining us because we could go for hours and hours, and we're only going to do it for an hour right now. But
Exactly. And then like
uh,
we want to hear from you too. Like what conversations do you want? We do have things planned out, but we also, want to make sure that we are fueling you from the chocolate crown perspective, male and female partnerships and moving forward. And it could be social justice, it could be relationships, intimacy, working with the youth. We both have a long resume of working with our children. So if it's you as parents having questions and concerns about working with your youth, we are the people. And we definitely have some people who joined in this evening. I saw some of the viewers that are some of those people as well. So, feel free. We'll be back next week.
yeah, listen, man, we got to start thinking outside the box, man. It's a different time. It's a different day and age. Um, we don't know what's going to happen with the schools. Um, I know they talking this. Some people going into these schools, some not. Listen, man, I got kids, and I'm trying hard not to send them back to none of these people's buildings before this COVID, especially in Philly. The buildings are old and they don't care about none of it. So you had the best asbestos everywhere. Now you got COVID everywhere, and they want
And
to
they was
send your
painting
kids.
over the asbestos.
Yeah, and they want to send your kids back to these buildings. So
Mhm.
listen, man, we thinking outside the box. If you need some help with your young people, we going to we're going to start having deep dives. So you contact myself or Mary May, and we will be able to help you on anything, especially with myself with these young men. We trying to raise the next generation to be men and leaders, man. Because at a time like this, when we need all our warriors, all of them, the ones that's in jail, the ones that are dead, because our people are under attack. I see a bunch of women at these rallies and protests, and no warriors out there.
Mhm.
None of them. So we got to raise the next generation to be men and patriarchs and warriors to protect our communities, our women, and our children. So if you have any questions, if you need your young people to get some good advice and some good directions, please get at us. Please get at Mary May. Please get at myself. Um, and yeah, episode 3 was dope. It was great again to laugh and learn. So I definitely appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your contributions and the conversations because it keeps us living. And thanks for the laughter too. We gotta laugh. We gotta enjoy life one conversation at a time. So until we meet again next week, peace out.
Peace.